Over 35,000 grade 1 and 8 pupils in Gauteng still need to be placed in schools. It's been an anxious wait for many as the new school year draws nearer. Reporter Heidi Giokos has the very latest. Heidi, very good morning to you. So you were at that briefing and raised some important issues around infrastructure and furniture for learners in schools. But importantly, the placement here. One of the issues was indicated that many parents have not bothered to accept applications, and some of their kids have had 2 or 3 placement offerings from the department. What are some of the other issues that they're grappling with over the next few days?
Yes, certainly, Rupiwa. Before we get into the issue of parents not accepting the fact that they've had a number of offers which is causing problems for the Department of Education in Gauteng, we do understand that over 300,000 new applications, which include grade 1 and grade 8, have been received by the Gauteng Education Department. So specifically for grade 1, it's over 150,000, and grade 8 over 174,000, a massive number. We do know that Gauteng, many people move to Gauteng for job opportunities or education opportunities or whatever it might be, and often you find that the department needs to find a way to place all these learners, because where are they going to go? We do know that about 12% have not yet been placed, with the majority in grade 8, which is about 26,000. According to the MEC for Education in the province, he's indicated that there is no need to panic. But I think the true test will come, Rupiwa, next year, when you have parents standing outside schools demanding that their children be accepted in specific schools. But the MEC is saying that all is under control. They're trying their very best to control the situation and place learners. There is no indication at this stage that the 12% that has not been placed yet will not be placed. The MEC says those learners will eventually be placed. Let's listen in to what the MEC said about those numbers and those placements.
So far, the process is on track to ensure that we place all the applicants. To give it you a proper update, we had received 332,477 unique applications for both grade 1 and grade 8. Of those, 157,697 were for grade 1, 174,780 were for grade 8. And we have managed to place 87.71% of those learners. The figures are as follows: 126,681 for grade 8 and 129,567 for grade 1. We currently are sitting with 35,897 for both grade 1 and grade 8 that are to be placed, which is 12%. That is left. We're still in that process. They will be placed, which is 9,897 grade 1, 26,000 grade 8. So parents should not be worried now, but now they have not, the time is going obviously so towards the end of the placement period, which is the 30th of November. We are working around the clock to ensure that we get the learners placed.
Heidi, let's get back to that issue around space and the parents not accepting some of the offers that have been made to them in terms of placements. What is Mr. Madome saying around that?
Yes, so I think that is a big challenge for the Department of Education in the province. And the reason for this is because over 5,000 applicants who received offers of placement have not accepted the offer. And what's going to be crucial here is that come the 30th of November, the system will automatically place them. Normally when you apply for your child to be either in grade 1 or grade 8, there is option 1, 2 or 3. I'm not sure how many options there are. I don't have children yet, Ropiwa. But normally there are a number of options, and parents sometimes don't accept option 3 because they would have preferred option 1. And what the MEC is saying is that really clogs up the system, and it causes major challenges because the department is unable to work with what they have or what they think they have. Because if a parent says, well, I'm not going to accept option 3, I'm rather going to send my child to a private school, to any other school, the department could have placed another learner, the 12% that has not been placed yet in that particular school. So it does become a challenge for the department, and the department saying that parents need to be cognizant of that and they should not wait till the very last minute to accept offers. But the system is automatically going to place learners. And again, Ropiwa, this is going to cause major challenges come next year, because I've covered in the beginning of this year, in fact, where parents are standing outside schools and saying we are going to insist on having our children at this particular school because the school that we have our child placed in by the department is just too far out and it's an inconvenience for us. But the department saying you have options, you put the options down. It's got a lot to do with where you stay or where you work to make it easier for the parents and for the child. But we'll just have to wait and see what comes next year. But the MEC and the department really urging parents to understand the urgency of accepting those offers. Let's listen to the MEC once again.
We've got 5,485 applicants who have received offers. Their parents have not accepted them. And this is a problem because it clogs the system, it delays. You'll find that maybe the learner has been offered space in 2 or 3 schools. Until they accept that particular offer, those spaces in the system will cover them as currently being filled. So they need to assist us by accepting one of the places so that they free up the system so that we can also then move and begin to place our learners as well. So that is one of the big problems we're having.
And that is Heidi Giokos bringing us the very latest on placements. Before I let you go, very briefly, Heidi, you mentioned an issue to the leadership there around infrastructure as well as a provision of furniture for learners in a school. What do they say about that situation and how are they remedying it?
Yes, so we were asking a specific question about Vlakfontein, the Kalabocha school, where pupils were telling us that they don't have desks and chairs and they are writing basically standing, writing the exams standing. And some serious allegations made about that principal at that particular school. So the question was, what are you doing about infrastructure challenges, not just furniture shortages, but also some schools are in a really bad state and really bad condition, and the department's saying that oftentimes they find that come mid-year or come close to the end of the year, when it's crunch time, exam time, you have the school governing body saying, actually, we don't have furniture left. And the department says, but why don't you have furniture left? Because, for example, in the beginning of the year, you were allocated 1,000 chairs, which was adequate enough for the amounts of pupils and even more. And the department saying they are addressing those issues. But sometimes you have a lot of vandalism and theft at play, and you also have a situation where the pupils themselves damage the infrastructure and damage the furniture, which is mind-boggling to me, Ropiwa, because why would you damage something that's going to benefit you in the long run? How do you damage a table and a chair that you need to be sitting and writing on to better your education? But the department says they are trying to deal with it, but it also comes down to budget constraints. The department can't keep justifying needing to supply tables and chairs throughout the year on a number of occasions when it was already supplied and allocated in the beginning of the year. But the department says they are looking into it and they're trying their best to provide that furniture, especially for learners who are trying to write their exams.